Hi, everybody. I'm over here trying to get my life together. This needs to go this way. No, I'll put it over here. I'm trying to get my life together. There. Hopefully that is in frame. How's everybody doing? I see Seascape and Deborah and Mia and Bismo. Hi, Sharon. Who else is in the chat? Hi, Coriel. Hey, Cheryl and Cardamom. Sweet darling Lulu. Mama Bear. Hi, Terry. Nenny, Vicky, Lisa, Jesse, Hoover Who, Teresa Harper. Hope everybody's doing good this evening. Bismo. Hi, Lisa, Graham, Carmen Tristan. Hi, Carol. How are you? Bam Bam, Virginia. Hi, Sunflower Down Under. Hope everybody's doing well. So I'm going to give you guys a heads up. Peanut is downstairs watching the baseball game. So if you hear yelling and screaming, I got my window open over here and Peanut's downstairs watching the baseball game. So it's only the first inning, but you never know what's going to happen. So he might lose his mind and you might hear Peanut yelling. just a heads up. Hi, Linda, Jesse, Carmen. If I can get some thumbs ups, you guys, that would be fantastical. Thank you so much. 104 degrees. Yeah, no. Hi, Judy. Hi, Renee. I'm not sure. I was going to put up a poll. I was just going to wait a few minutes till give some time for the notifications to go out and people to know and head over, and then I'll put up the poll so we can kind of see, because I'm undecided. Hey, healer. Yep, you can take the girl out the Navy, but you can't take the sailor out of a girl, I guess. I have a potty mouth. DeSantis isn't on the list, and I don't think he will be for a while. Oh, you're getting rain, Cheryl? Thank you, Nenny. How you doing? Jesse Hill. So, you guys, I have a question. And maybe I'm crazy and I'm just imagining it, but I saw all over Twitter today. Hey, Sylvia, how are you? Big hugs to you. Big hugs. I was seeing all over Twitter today, everybody was talking about how Ivanka Trump flipped on her dad because of that clip that was aired during the hearing yesterday where she said that Bill Barr said that there was no election fraud, and she respects Bill Barr and she believes Bill Barr, that there was no election fraud. Bill Barr resigned in December because he knew the shit was going to hit the fan, and he skedaddled out of there. But if memory serves me correctly, wasn't Ivanka Trump tweeting the day of the riot that the people that were at the Capitol were patriots? Or am I imagining that? Can someone please let me know? Because I'm missing a link there. Like, how is everybody saying, oh, look how wonderful she is, she threw her daddy under the bus? And I'm like, wait, no, she was tweeting what a great job the patriots were doing the day that they were rioting at Capitol. if I remember correctly. She did, and then she deleted it, and then Bam Bam is saying that she did. So why is it that being questioned is what I want to know? Because if Bill Barr told you your dad lost the election and he's lying about it, and then you say that you believe Bill Barr, what in God's green earth possessed you to tweet that those were patriots? So she knew what he was doing, and she knew what was being planned, because there is no way I can't consolidate those two. There's something missing. Do you see what I'm saying? So that's not making sense to me. Oh, I know, William. It's just there's something missing there. How during her testimony she's like, yes, I believe Bill Barr, but then the day of she's tweeting, you guys are patriots. There's something missing there, and that's what I want to know. Terry, I'm wondering that too, if she was hedging her bets, because, I'm sure she didn't want to be held in contempt of Congress, and I'm wondering if she's been questioned on, okay, so if you're saying, and mind you, we didn't see the entire interview. They just showed the clip of her saying that she believed Bill Barr. So who knows what else she was asked under oath during that interview with the committee. And so we don't know that, and what they were asking her and how she answered. But how do you go from that to you guys are patriots? Do you see what I'm saying? Like, it's not adding up for me in my head. And I'm just wondering when that's going to be brought up, if it'll be brought up. Because that's the first thing I thought of when I was watching the hearings. And then today, during when I was on Twitter looking to see what was going on, everybody was talking about that. And I guess Trump was saying that she had checked out. She didn't know what was going on, basically discrediting his own daughter, which we all knew that would happen. He would sell his own mother for a penny if he could, I just came on, Karen. Hi, Karen. So I have questions about that. Yeah, she's trying to cover all sides legally, but I don't know, dude. I don't know. There's something fishy going there. There's something fishy going there. Hey, T-Barb. You just posted her tweet? The one where she was talking about the Patriots were, at the Capitol and stuff like that before she deleted it? Hi, Doxy. Okay, I'll look up. Thank you so much, T-Barb. Yeah, because I could have sworn that happened. Then I started thinking about it. I was like, wait, am I crazy? And no, it was just like a thorn stuck in my brain all day long today. I was like, no, I could have sworn she was saying that those patriots care about the country and all this other whatever she put on that tweet. I can't consolidate those two. I can't. You got wine and popcorn? I need to go make a run to Trader Joe's and load up on snacks. Because when we were watching it with Autumn on her live stream, I was eating the mini corn dogs and popcorn. So, but I have buttered popcorn. I want to go get kettle corn. I think I should get kettle corn. But Sylvia had sent me this little popcorn maker. So I got the corn nugget things to put inside the popcorn maker, but I need to get oil. That's where I screwed up the first time I made it. So it was just plain dry popcorn. So I need to go to the store and get the oil. Thank you, lucky girl. William, that's just more for somebody to love. Nobody likes sticking bones, man. Well, they have kettle corn in the large bags that are pre-made. You know what I mean? You know how like they sell Skinny Pop and stuff? Well, they don't sell Skinny Pop at Trader Joe's, but they have big bags of pre-made kettle corn. And then they have these other snacks. I swear to God, they're like crack cocaine, man. It's like, you know, like the cheese puffs that you get at like the, I don't know, like at the gas stations, the one that has that little tiger in the front. Well, they have those orange cheese puffs, right? Well, it's kind of like that, but instead of being cheddar, it's like white cheddar. And they sell those at Trader Joe's. I forget what they're called, but those things are so good. They're so good. And then they have the Trader Joe's brand of the caramel corn with the peanuts, kind of like you get at baseball games. They have those, but the Trader Joe's brand. But a lot of the stuff that Trader Joe's gets tends to be seasonal, so they change a lot of their snacks out seasonally. I mean, they have their staples that are always there, but their seasonal snacks are always so so good. Okay, American patriots, any security breach or disrespect to our law enforcement is unacceptable. Okay, but she did tweet something before that she deleted. Am I correct? Where she was kind of sort of praising the quote unquote patriots, and then she took it down, probably when she was told that she could be held legally liable. See, because Seascape is saying yes, that there was a tweet where she was praising them, and then she took it down. And then later on, she posted the one that you're talking about, Lucky Girl from T Barb. But she deleted it. I'm sure it'll pop up somewhere on Twitter where somebody screenshotted it, or it'll resurface on Twitter. I know I'm not crazy. Fisher's caramel popcorn. See, that's what I'm talking about. The caramel popcorn, and it comes with like the little peanuts in the bag too. Those are so good. So good. So good. Hey, Jenny. Jenny, I was asking the chat because I was wondering if I was crazy. Didn't Ivanka Trump, when the rioters were rioting, that didn't she tweet out that they were patriots and they were fighting for our country and our democracy and all that other stuff? Exactly, T-Barb. That's the one she took down. People were dissing her for calling. See, that's what I'm saying, T-Barb. I can't consolidate the two. I can't consolidate how she was notified by Bill Barr in December before his resignation that her dad lost the elections. There was no evidence of fraud, that it's bullshit and it's a lie. How she can say that under oath and then turn around and tweet what she tweeted on January 6th. I can't put those together. There's something missing in the middle. Yeah, she just answered, Lucky Girl. She said that that's the one that she took down, the one where she was calling them patriots and they were doing a great job and all that stuff. Because I know I'm not crazy. I mean, I am crazy, but it's just there's something there that is missing. Yeah, exactly. Seascape, she was addressing them as if she was the queen and mother of Russia. Oh, a lot of people took a screenshot of her tweets. So I'm sure in a few days it'll start recirculating on Twitter. But that's the first thing I thought of. That's what I'm saying, Jenny. There's something she either lied to the committee under oath, because on that tiny clip that they showed of her throwing her dad under the bus, saying that Bill Barr, she spoke with Bill Barr and she respects Bill Barr and she believed him, how she went from that in December to tweeting out, you guys are patriots, on January 6th. There's something missing right there. So Maybe we should ask that on Sunday. I'll add it to the questions, but I just don't know how to, I don't even know how to word that question. Because I know what my brain is thinking. I'm just having a hard time verbalizing it, if I'm making any sense. So, mm-mm-mm. Mm-mm-mm. So tonight, we've been chatting for 15 minutes, letting people come in. I don't know, Lisa. I don't know. I don't know, because if anything, I don't even know how to verbalize it, how to get my thoughts straight and make it come out cohesively. Oh, T Barb is saying she didn't say they were doing a great job. She told them to do what I posted. American patriots, any security breach or disrespect to our law enforcement is unacceptable. Okay. Maybe I'm confused. Maybe I'm confused. Maybe I am nuts. Um, oh yeah, Trader Joe's has the pickled popcorn seasonally this year. I saw that and I was like, what the hell? And then I saw that they have pickled, I think it's pickle mustard. I was like, oh man, that just sounds gross. That just sounds real gross. Is that what made people mad? Was because she was calling them patriots? I'll ask around on Twitter and see if anybody had screenshotted, because I know what text message or what Twitter feed, or I'm sorry, Twitter post you're talking about, T-Barb, but I could have sworn there was another one that she had posted before that. Or maybe I'm just nuts. Who knows? I can't keep up with all the criming, you guys. I can't. Sorry, I suck. There's a campaign started by the Trump family stating she's not well in the head. Who? Ivanka Trump's not well in the head? Okay, so I'm going to... all the criming. Jenny, I can't do it. It's too goddamn much. You know, like that meme that is going around all over the place with, I don't know if the guys from The Office or what show that is, but he's in front of a board with all the pictures and the red string connecting everything, and he just looks mental. That would be me. I can't keep up with everything. It's too much. Okay, I'm going to put up a post. I'm going to add a poll. Okay. Okay, I'm going to put up the poll. Let you guys take your time and vote, and we'll see which one we're going to do tonight. Three sizes last night, Jenny. Oh, dear God. Dear God. Oh, I just got your email, Lucky Girl. Let me see. Oh, that's what. Okay, so I stand corrected. So she was criticized for calling the Trump mob patriots, but she was telling them that what they were doing. Says American patriots, any security breach or disrespect to our law enforcement is unacceptable. The violence must stop immediately. Please be peaceful. So that's the one that she, okay, so I stand corrected. And then she got hammered on Twitter. Somebody was saying, clarifying at Ivanka Trump, you're saying these people are patriots? And then she replied, no, peaceful protest is patriotic. Violence is unacceptable and must be condemned in the strongest terms. So I stand corrected. And then she changed the tweet. Okay, thank you, lucky girl. So how is everybody feeling watching the hearings yesterday? Oh yeah, meanwhile back at the insurrection, peanut butter boys are reading Trump's tweets over a bullhorn. Jenny, we were I don't know if you were still in with us yesterday, but we were reading on who put the bombs around the RNC and DNC, and I was getting a younger man associated to the peanut butter boys, I think it was. So yeah, she's a soulless heifer. It made you cry? Your heart broke when the female officer. Yeah, it was after the Grand Tableau, Jenny. Forgot what the cards were exactly. Something writer and then something else. Writer was in the middle, but I got two jacks. A younger man. I think it was something writer anchor, I think it was. And then I asked if they were associated to the Oath Creepers. I don't know. I asked if they were associated to the Peanut Butter Boys. I got a yes. We asked it again. I got a yes on Peanut Butter Boys. A younger man, the Jacks were showing up. So that's usually, younger men, teenagers through 20, maybe 30ish, Um, so people were pissed, huh? Baseline emotion, which I know is going to sound um, um, was I was kind of happy. You know, I wasn't angry, I wasn't sad, I was happy because to me, that's, all that footage and everything else that's still to come out. I'm like, TikTok motherfuckers, y'all about to show your asses. Every single one of you. Every single one of you. Every sitting member of Congress, everybody that was involved, everybody that was advising, tick motherfucking talk, bitches. I wasn't upset. I wasn't upset. So not to say that I'm a soulless person, but you know. Okay, so we got Steve Bannon at 44%. So I'm going to end the poll. So we're going to do The Walking Dead, Steve Bannon. I know it may sound vulgar or crass that I didn't cry, I didn't shed a tear, I wasn't angry. I was happy. I was happy because it was like, Y'all done fucked around. You're about to find out. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's just, mm-mm. No, sir. No, sir. No, sir. No, sir. I mean, there was a little bit of anger, like way, 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 way down below the surface when I was thinking about, hey, sunflower. When I was thinking about, despite all this evidence, how GOP leadership can just come out and blatantly continue to lie. That angered me, but then it was quickly overcome with, y'all about to find out. Y'all about to find out, So I stamped it down real quick, which may make me sound crazy, but you know, I'm happy because you know what's coming. That's also how you manifest. Keep it up, Becca. I'm working alongside with you. Hey, Diana, how are you? Hey, if you guys see Joanne in the chat tonight, please let me know. I'm going to shuffle these cards and continue to chit chat because 90 million households that were watching it last night, Jenny. I was wondering about the ratings when I was watching it at on Autumn's live stream because she hosted it on her channel. And I was asking, I wonder what the ratings were going to be like, 90 million, sunflower. Yeah, Jared said he was busy working for pardons. That piece of shit. I swear. I swear. I don't usually wish bad stuff on people, but I'm very, very, very happy to wish bad stuff on bad people. And that's one son of a bitch right there who I would just love to see have a botched cosmetic surgery where he ends up with his nose on his forehead and his lips on his ass so he can kiss his own ass. I do not like that scumbag, not one bit. And I wish him the worst. Like I said, never claimed to be Mother Teresa over here, y'all. Never claimed to be Mother Teresa. So, oh, Jenny said 20 million people were watching out of 90 million households. Okay. Okay. That is a lot, Sunflower. Oh, crap. I got a super chat. I'm sorry. Thank you, Spiritual Seeker. Glad to provide laughs. Glad to provide laughs. 90 million households. Okay. So 20 million out of 90 million. That's still a lot. And that's not even counting the people that, kind of like what Autumn was doing, live streaming from YouTube, or perhaps even watch parties, online, or people getting their feeds from Twitter or other social media platforms, due to streaming services. So sorry, you guys, I got to shuffle them like this because these are tiny and I can't shuffle like, like regular. I watched a clip of what Stephen Colbert was saying about Fox News yesterday and how Tucker Carlson was live for like over an hour without any commercial breaks. You know that they lost money from ads and stuff because Tucker Carlson didn't take any commercial breaks during his show. And he was making fun of it, saying, you know, that's the first rule of being in a cult. You never leave the compound. I was like, you gotta leave it to Stephen Colbert, you know. And that's another thing, you guys. You know, we went through 4 years of absolute freaking insanity. And you gotta give it up for these comedians that were able to just help us laugh through it, you know, because that was a goddamn nightmare. 4 years of a goddamn nightmare. She finally screwed her dad. I saw that, T-Barb, and I fell out of my damn chair. I fell out of my damn chair. I was like, oh my God. Oh my God. I mean, whoever writes his, you know, his little monologue, if he's got a team or if it's just one individual person, you got to give it up for him, man, because he's got some zingers. He's got some zingers for that. But how did he say it, T-Barb? He was like, Donald Trump finally got what he wanted. He got screwed by Ivanka or something like that. It was like Ivanka finally screwed her dad. Oh, oh Lord. Oh man. Oh man. What's that old saying? There's no loyalty among thieves. No loyalty among thieves. Oh goodness. The Geico caveman Coltos. Now why you got to bring the Geico caveman in here, man? He's nice. I saw that commercial where he was on the little thing, the little walkie thing in the airport, and he sees his own pictures. The Geico caveman is nice. Marjorie Taylor Greene is she's just fucking gross, man. She's so gross. Colbert's take on Ivanka was so funny. It was refreshing to laugh after the first hearing was over. We all needed that. He looked stone and droopy eyed. It looked like he just came back from the, you know, the person that injects his face full of poison. That's what he looked like to me. Just when I thought I couldn't hate that son of a bitch more, he had to go open up his mouth. And I was like, yep, I hate you. I hate you. I hate you. With the heat of a million suns, I hate you. Oh no, Coriel. I don't subscribe to that mentality. I don't subscribe to that mentality. Hate only hurts me and not them. No, no, not necessarily. It fills me with joy. So when they finally see their downfall, I can gloat. Like I said, girlfriend, I ain't Mother Teresa. Don't try to put that on me. Mm-mm. Leave my black hole of a heart alone. I will hate who I want to hate. Shamelessly and unapologetically. I'm Satan's apprentice. I got my horns on. Yes, ma'am, I do. Yes, ma'am, I do. Today on Twitter, someone posted a picture of Jared with his legs open, wearing shorts and a t-shirt with a coffee cup on a saucer on his crotch, and he's smiling. Ew, really? Okay, I have to ask Carmen, were his legs like this skinny? Because I swear to God, dude, like when I look at him, you know, even though he's always wearing suits, he looks like if you were to put him in just like a t-shirt and shorts, he would just look like Skeletor. He's so damn skinny. He looks like, you know, I mean, I'm sure the only thing on his face is just a bunch of fillers and Botox, but ugh. Worst thing Trump did was break down the steaming excrement of anger in America. Families broke, friendships broke. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. He's ruined a lot of lives. A lot of lives. All those idiots getting arrested for being at the insurrection. All those morons and the Proud Boys and the Oath Creepers about to spend 20 plus in prison ruined their lives. All these peoples whose political careers are done ruined their lives. Anybody associated with him that are now pariahs ruined their lives. And yet, these dumb sons of bitches keep jumping on that train as if he's a kingmaker. It's like, okay, you obviously didn't learn. He had hairy legs, but were his legs like super bony, Carmen? Oh, he looked normal. He just comes off as somebody that would just be like bony, like Skeletor. Oh, that was I think that was Lena that said that, lucky girl. I think it was Lena. I saw that in one of her videos that she was saying they're starting to look more and more alike because they're using the same plastic surgeon. Yeah, everything he did for us. Yeah. grifted you, robbed you blind, and now you're going to prison. Good job, dumbass. It's like, I swear to God, I could sell these morons a freaking a bridge, you know, in the desert. They're so goddamn dumb. They are so dumb. So dumb. Hey, Marby. But, you know, I guess that's just the culmination of the Republican experiment that's been ongoing since Reagan. Keep them dumb, keep them racist, keep them uneducated, and just stir up culture wars and, you know, white male grievances. And this is what you end up with. This is what you end up with. This is not something, in my view, and I'm no political science major, I am not a historian, but that shit, in my view, didn't happen overnight. That's years and years and years of indoctrination into the Republican Party, and here's the culmination of it. Barr looked like he was trying to be the Godfather. So, oh well. At least Reagan had the semi-decency, and Big Bush too, to still use the dog whistles. You know, but then after years and years and years of all that shit, here comes Trump, and who needs a dog whistle? Let's use the bullhorn, you know? Yeah, and the evangelical Christians. Sunflower, did you see the thing where there's this Christian pastor that's calling for the execution of all gays and trying to lobby to make it law to execute all gays, I think it is. I'm like, take his tax exempt status away too, and throw his ass behind bar, because he's calling for, you know, the mass murders of you know, a demographic of the others. Um, and he was trying to say that it's in the Bible and it's law in the Bible to execute gays, execute them with guns. And I was like, wait, they didn't have guns back then. These were nomadic people, you know, hunters and gatherers and shit. But somewhere he pulled it out of his ass that in the Bible it says that God wants us to gather up all the gays and execute them. That, my friends, is the Christian fascist movement, alive and well in America. Fort Worth, that's where it was, Carmen. Yeah, a hate crime. Yep, you wanna start talking politics? Start paying taxes. Your local news station had a story on that today. Yeah, it's, you know, you gotta love when these. Alan, I hear you, my friend. I hear you. I hear you. It's just, you gotta love how these people take the Bible and say it teaches hate. Kill everybody that doesn't agree with our thinking or our belief system. You know. Let me go refill my little coffee, you guys, because we're gonna be here for a while. I'm gonna take a quick break. I've been yapping my trap for 41 minutes, but I'm gonna refill my little coffee, and I shall be back. inning is it? Oh no. The Dodgers are down 2-1 at the fourth. That's not good. No bueno. All right, everybody. Let's do this. If I can figure out what I'm doing. Ten, 11, 8, 36, 21, 24, 6, 32, 4, 15, 7, 31, 27, 28. Is landing right there. Okay, 30, 16. Stars is in its own house in this tableau. One. And we got 17. Storks is in its own house. 17, house 17. Okay. Birds, clover, tree, writer, book, key, and fox. Okay. Fish, dog, ring, ship, anchor, woman, tower, bouquet, crossroads, mice, child, and garden. And there in your line of fate is the Proud Boys, or the little people. Okay, let me try to fix this. Okay, I think that's good, right? Can everybody see that? Can everybody see the tableau? Okay, good. Sunflower saying yes. Alrighty. So Steve Bannon, that's who the read is on tonight. He is sitting here in House Fox. He's only got one column over his head, but these are bad. This shit is bad. It's so bad. The most worrisome one is this one right here, because it's right over his head and the shadow side is on him. And this is the most negative card in the deck. It sits right on his head, and you got heart in the house of heart in the house of clouds right next to it over his head. He's got mountain here as well. Not good. He knights over here to cross. Not good. These are further away, but it opens up the tableau, so we'll take a look at that. In this tableau, he's got stars in its own house, and he has got storks in his own house. So with stars, we're looking at something that's quite vast and widespread. It's also the card of guidance and direction, like guiding someone, being a visionary, having kind of like a roadmap, if that makes sense, a map. And then over here with storks in its own house, storks has to do with change and improvements and being flexible and promoting something. So perhaps this could be talking about the widespread attempt to overturn and change something, how widespread it is. Also, because he sits so close to key and he knights down here to tower, and he's sitting on the house of fox. Okay, sly and manipulative. He's got fox, he knights to it, and he's sitting in that house. Sly and manipulative, but also somebody that works. So someone key in developing this plan to overturn something. With man in the house of fox, stars in its own house, storks in its own house. Also something quite possibly about him trying to be sly and manipulative and perhaps remake himself. Like a rebirth of some sort, if that makes any sense at all. Reimaging, if I'm making sense. Okay. So the first, I mean, look at this. This is bad, 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 bad. Oh, look, it clears up. No, bad. And then it's got the moon here, but the moon is sitting in house coffin. Okay. So here we're looking at weapons and death this way. What's knighting over here? This is not knighting. Bad news right here around him. Letter in the house of child, and then this right here with clouds, that's bad news. What else is touching it? Heart here. This is backwards. This would be domestic grief, but it's not. It should be lilies and clouds, but clouds is above it, so that doesn't apply here. So anyways, News of something dangerous that that has to do with weapons, perhaps a death and an ending that causes a lot of suffering, and quite possibly domestic enemies um, that are suffering or being sacrificed. And it's quite problematic, and it brings ruin to his reputation and his career. Just this top line. With the corners here, we're looking at something that's quick or very short, perhaps some sort of an accident, but it's danger. With his fame and perhaps raising money as well, because this is gifts and this is money and transactions. Central to his tableau, we have something that is okay. Sun is sitting in house birds, so the or the heat or the energy around meetings and negotiations. Um, Letter in the house of child, small male or mailing children or mailing little people. Okay. Correspondences with little people, successful results as well, and news of something that is growing within the network. Um, Tree in the house of garden, writer in the house of mountain. So being successful and delivering the results because of a delay to achieve their goals. Writer in the house of mountain, but mountain starts up here. So we follow this line down. There's the delay, the obstacle, the blockage. Okay, which is part of the problem that has to do with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Um, that's growing. Okay, so growing problems and also enemies with mountain here. So the delaying the results and then delivering what was the goal from the little people. Does that make sense? Um, Down his line, this is his present column where he's sitting. He's got 876. There's a lot of problems. Oh man, um, with something that he's passionate about, or something that he's grateful for because he has knowledge. And then there's this woman here. I don't know who she is. Well, she sits on house lilies. Okay. And then she sits next to tower. Not sure who she is. Where's birds in relation to her? Not sure who she is. This could be a woman in government. She has knowledge of the rally or knowledge, and then a woman that went to a rally. Government this way. Um, Delivering the project successfully here, or having access to this project and opening it up, but it was done under manipulative and cunning, fraudulent means. He's got legal problems showing up this column this way. The next one over. It's a legal problem. He's going to have to answer to the law and the courts here. And he's going to have to successfully go and deliver the paperwork, testimony, whatever it is, because Sun is. So he's going to have it's looking like the law, even though he knights here, does not favor him, mostly because he's got all this so close by. Clouds is affecting this, these, and these, and all the way down here. This, this. So all of this is as far as it reaches. This is kind of far, because it's very near, far, very far, and then that's just way out of reach. But it's almost like as this line moves forward, this becomes the culmination. Again, with the legal issues, it looks like it does take time, though, because it's got lilies right here, right above it. Lilies in the house of bear. Mirroring these two could be like a judge. And also 1, 2, 3, 4 to cross. Very burdened. Very, very burdened. Growing burdens as well. Because of how not just widespread, but the branches of everything within that party that he's associated to. He will be persistent, though. He's got anchor right here. But with the cross here and then him knighting down here to anchor, it's almost like persistent. How do I say this? How do I say that? It's almost like it becomes a lifestyle of suffering. Also down this diagonal line right here, which is a line of influence, okay, with cross, letter, book, tower. There's something that he's guilty of or suffering with. There is documentation that is secret for the courts here. So I'm wondering, because we know that Donald Trump pardoned him before he left office. He's got book in the house of crossroads. Books is double. So I'm wondering if he's sitting on a pocket pardon for something else. Because of this line here, it shows that this document, anything that's written, a correspondent, documents, paperwork, mail, letters, communication, messages, awards, certificates, all of that is covered under letter, and it sits on the house child. House child is young, new, but it's also innocent, that he's keeping secret, and then here it is. That will be challenged. If he has a pocket pardon, it will be challenged. And I say that because letter knights appear to, what do you call this? Clouds. If I'm making sense. This is really bad news. And this important document here, this sits on house sun. No, sits on house mice. It gets taken away. Am I making sense? Bad news with these. Secret for innocence, a paperwork that alleviates him and makes him innocent from whatever he's suffering from or guilty of, because it sits on house child. Okay. Book on house crossroads. 2, he's got a secret escape route for the law. But I said it's challenged because it knights up here. Okay. And as you follow the paperwork this way, it gets in trouble here. When you follow it this way, it shows that that letter is delivered to achieve innocence. It shows up ahead of him. But when you look at the letter itself and you start knighting, no. No. What sits on house? It's not a clear win. It's not a clear win because this is a diagonal. It's a line of influence. If you look at this line of influence here, and remember, letter is sitting on house birds. So negotiating something and written communication. Well, we look at birds, look at this line of influence. The administration here gifted him something. The birds and house dog, meetings with members or meetings with people that are loyal. There's the agreement to steal something, criminal conspiracy. And again, just like we saw in the tableau that we did the other night with the criminal conspiracy, the many that are loyal, here with the ring that are linked to the elections and stealing here. Okay, so if he has one, if I'm interpreting this correctly, just based on this line of influence here, it gets challenged. It might take a while if he decides to pull it out, but it looks like there's a challenge to it. And then he suffers up here. If I'm making, and you saw how many times I shuffled the cards, T-Barb, like doing the little piles, and you know what I mean? Like I was trying to shuffle as best I could. So it's a theme that's just appearing. Remember when we did the Grand Tableaus way back a few months? We did Trump, Ivanka Jr., Eric, and they all had the same combination of tower and coffin, and I kept interpreting that as the end of empire. Well, where I stand corrected, tower has to do with the law. Okay, large buildings, government red tape, bureaucracy, legal issues. And then with coffin, it comes to an end. The legal issues end. And then months and months later, we found out what happened in the district attorney's office in New York where he shut down the case. Remember that? And then the district attorney is trying to backpedal and saying, no, 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 no. But then all the prosecutors resigned in protest. So that was that theme in those tableaus that we did a few months ago. But it's looking like it's a theme that wants to show up here. So let's see, what else can we get out of this? Hey, Marby, thanks. When did I do that Grand Tableau? Let me see. I did that one in February. We can always revisit it again because I have it here in my notebook. Okie dokie. I wonder who this woman is. I'm wondering who she is. So she's sitting on house lilies. And it's writer, book, and key. Anchor, woman, tower, child, garden. I'm wondering if this is Jenny Thomas or another person like Jenny Thomas. I only say that because she's sitting on house lilies. Lilies is right up here. And if you follow this line down, this is someone, an older person that is wiser, that is very important and significant in the law, with a lot of problems over his head right now. This shows that this person is knowledgeable and had knowledge about the elections. Book in the house of crossroads. Woman sits in the house of lilies. Older, mature woman. Also, if you're looking at the, you compare these two because woman is the ace of spades. Lilies is ace of spades. Okay, so you compare these. And also next to her, tower, the six of spades. Anchor, the nine of spades. Garden, the eight of spades. Child, jack of spades. Do you see what I'm saying? So I'm just looking at pips, and that's how I'm pairing them. I'm wondering if this is Jenny Thomas, because here it shows knowledgeable woman at a party or very social. See, that's what I'm saying. Remember when we were looking at T-Barb? Remember when we were looking at, which one did we do last night? Was it Mo Brooks? We did Mo Brooks on the 8th. We did Scott Perry last night. And this right shows up over here. Dog, ring, mice, fish. Dog, ring, and then over here, mice. And it's almost in the same area. Let me look at Mo Brooks. Mo Brooks, okay. Dog here. Ring is up here. Mice is up here. It's like this little combination here is almost like the one we did for Scott Perry yesterday. If I'm making sense, T-Barb. Put it in the title because I put up the poll. But there's this woman here. Knowledgeable woman that's very popular, very social, is part of a network. It's part of a congregation, has a large group of societal person, but she's very entrenched with law and corporations this way. And then this way down this column, it shows that, what house is this? Writer in the house of mountain, anchor in the house of woman. She's very persistent about communicating to deliver mail this way. If I follow her up this way, she knights to mail. I mean to letter in the house of child. New mail, new documents, new results, paperwork, messages, awards, certificates, the delivery here of that paperwork that had been delayed, and then the achievement, because she's very persistent, anchor in the house of woman. And then down here with child, quite literally a child or innocent. Achieving innocence this way, delivering the paperwork, achieving innocence. I'm wondering who she is. I don't have names. I do not have names. I can't give you that. But I'm wondering if this is Jenny Thomas. She knights here to tree. She knights to mice. Growing problems and growing worry around this woman. She knights down here. Mice knights to fish. And it's linked to the conversations that were had with the administration to conspire to steal something. So growing worries and concerns for her. Because this network of people that work together as a team in the transition to steal something is growing. And then right down here, what's hitting her line of influence, something very, very, very vast and large. Yeah, and she knights to lilies too. Very vast and large, successful, also providing guidance, important and significant for something to be stolen. Key in the house of mice. Okay. Significant stress and anxiety. Her in the house of lilies, someone that is mature, or quite literally her partner that is under a lot of trouble or has a lot of shit going on right now, and he is very significant and important to the courts or in the law. Okay. And then her innocence. So I'm sure Ginny Thomas doesn't think she did anything wrong, but she also knights here to mice. She's worried about it. Um, if I don't knight her and I just look at everything around here, she's an arrogant bitch with tower right there. She's very persistent. She thinks she's innocent and did nothing wrong and she's in the right, and she'll continue to do whatever it is that she's doing. Um, Mice is close to her. So not only anxious and worried, but it's almost like it's small worries. It's even though up here it's saying she's significantly worried, the more she thinks about it and what she knows, it's almost like she's firm in her convictions that she did nothing wrong. She sits in house Lily's and Lily sits over her head. She thinks she's innocent here with child, and she did whatever it was that she did ethically, if that makes sense, because Lily's has to do with virtue. If this is Ginny Thomas, I don't know who she is. I'm only pairing it by pips. Resourceful, intelligent, conniving, manipulative, woman and fox here. And she was also working, and quite possibly a key player, working along with this vast effort to bring success and satisfaction to what they were desiring here with Bouquet. I haven't done one on Ginny Thomas, but she's on the list. So, okay, Bannon Knights here to cross burdened. Over here to Moon, his fame, but it sits on house coffin, not good. He Knights here to tree. He Knights here to fox. It's almost like he thinks he's smart enough and cunning enough to where he covered his bases, because his answer is that thing that he has that nobody knows about for the law. He's got two. It shows two. This is up here. Okay, this knight's here to coffin. This knight's here to letter. Okay, the results of a loss. Winning lottery ticket this way. The results of the transition or paperwork to travel, like a passport. Messages from a woman. Bad news around this. So let's look here. Let's look around the letter. I saw on Twitter today, they were reporting, I forget who it was, if it was the Washington Post or what, that she called 29 people in Arizona. 29 people. That's 27 more than what we thought of. 29. Because before they were only reported that she called 3. No, that grand total so far, based on the reporting from the Washington Post, is 29. Funny enough, woman is card number 29. Not saying there's a correlation there, but if I'm interpreting this correctly, it could quite possibly be what's her face, Ginny Thomas. Just saying. And he's sitting close to her, and they share a secret and knowledge here about the elections. Book in the house of Crossroads. I do not know if they were in communications, because Birds sits way over here, and I can't get Birds to talk to these two because it sits on a triangle. But he may have knowledge of the paperwork, the mail, because it says here that he had very important knowledge of how they were running the scheme. And with this right here, Lily's, because Lily's has to do with maturity and virtue, he may have been some sort of a mentor and provided a roadmap and guidance to the entire scheme as a key person to that scheme, if I'm making any sense. Hey, Writing Moon. What else should I look at? What else should I look at? With clouds over his head in the house of snake, we're looking at a lot of trouble, betrayal, deceptions, a lot of really bad, complicated shit, like seriously huge problems. And also the snake, this is king of clubs, snake is queen of clubs. So there could be another pair up here, a pair together, if I'm making sense. Snake is touching birds. Okay. Birds tradition is an older pair, an older man and an older woman that are married. By suit, this is queen of clubs, this is king of clubs. Clouds is sitting in house snake. So we could be looking at an older pair that is married. Okay, so if he goes to court, so his court is right here. He goes to court next month, does he not? In July? Because the court shows up next month. This is June. This is July. Is he due to court? Okay, so it shows the court showing up here for him. It's going to be significantly problematic simply because he's got clouds up here. This way it shows him going to court. Tower is sitting in the house of sun. Sun is sitting in the house of birds. He's going to have to talk. He's going to have to talk and deliver the paperwork and whatever else they're asking him for. That's just following this right here. I don't know who the judge is. It could be a female judge as well. Spades, spades, spades. Ace of, and she sits in house lilies as well. Okay. So I don't know who he's supposed to be, who the judge is presiding over that hearing, but it could quite possibly be a woman. This way. She sits on lilies. Lilies is up here. Follow it down. Boom. And follow it this way here. Does anybody know who the judge is overseeing his case next month? Carl Nichols. So that's a man. Okay. So then it's this way. King, king. Let me see. Let me use the Google machine. Hold on. I got to scratch my eyeball. Give me 1 second. I can't type. Okay, I'm looking at. Judge Carl Nichols, okay, 2019 appointee to the federal trial court in Washington, D.C., set the trial for July 18th. Okay. Here's one from March 16th. Hold on. There's another one too, because he's trying to claim executive privilege for phone records. And letter sits on house birds. Talking records. Who's the judge overseeing that? The judge overseeing the former advisor Steve Bannon's contempt of Congress trial ruled Wednesday that the Department of Justice must turn over writings, public or not, of official agency policy for prosecuting former and current government officials who raise executive privilege claims. Okay, that's still the same judge, Carl Nichols. Okay. So then it's this way. Not this way. So then what's this? What is this if it's not Jenny Thomas? But either way, this right here, this is the court case next month in July. I can only go this way to the right. And it shows bouquet in the house of moon. Rewards. Gifts. Something blooming. So it's like he's going to have to reward the courts. Does that make sense? Amanda Vaughn. Prosecutor is Amy Vaughn. Okay, well, there's a woman in the courts this way that she's favorable. And then this way it shows trouble. Here's the man, the judge, king of spades here. Trouble over his head, king of diamonds, or king of clubs here. He's going to have to answer to the court. The courts are in her favor. If you look this way, his delays here, what he's obstructed and delayed, those documents need to be produced and delivered, and she is the one that achieves that in her favor. Okay, if you follow it this line, this way, this line of influence, the delays, he has to answer to what this woman is being rewarded. Am I making sense? Amanda Vaughn. I hope I'm making sense. And then she, if I look at this as the woman in the courts, evidence of thievery or criminality, key in the house of mice. She's very persistent and she achieves what she has to in the court in front of a large audience, something public. And then there's burdens and sacrifices here, misfortune for the network, for those involved in the network, if that makes any sense at all. Okay, so that was 3 different ways to look at all this right here. Jenny Thomas, I guess another female prosecutor this way. And then his court case next month. I don't know if it resolves next month because Tower, um, there's nothing beneath it, so I can only look to the right here. And then with Lily's up here, Lily's takes a little bit of time. Okay, Lily's Knight's over here to Mountain. This is delays, obstructions. This needs time to mature. It needs a gestation period. So I don't know if this resolves quickly, but then he's got Key right here. Key's very fast acting. It's an action card. So that I'm kind of torn. Between on how quickly this thing gets resolved in the courts, because he's due in there when July 18th or 17th, something like that. She Knight's up here to letter, and then child, and then sun in the house of birds. The energy, the success, the very vibrant, and very optimistic about the conversations and the records of those conversations. Those need to be delivered. The delay is over. Mountains up here, letter in the house of child, writer in the house of mountain. Those delays are over. It moves forward. But I don't know, because if I follow him, I go this way, right? Him moving from left to right, and then it wraps around this way. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 columns ahead of him, there's more paperwork and mail that's coming in that has been delayed. So, okay, let's see. June, July, August, September, October, November, December, January. Is that right? That can't possibly be right. June, July, August, September, October, November, December, January. Yeah. So around January next year, there's also more mail that's being delivered. Documents that he's been trying to delay and obstruct and all that. Stuff is still coming in. So I don't know what this is about that could possibly lead here. Because he's sitting on House Fox, meaning that he's going to try to be conniving and resourceful and sneaky for time with Lily's here. For him to be successful. Perhaps try to run out the clock. I don't know what the is there a statute of limitations? Has anybody talked about that, or has anybody heard any legal expert talk about that? Because here it's showing that he's being patient and taking his time. His strategy, man in the house of Fox, is to delay. That's his answer to keep things quiet. Okay. For him to have things go in a different direction, or he's hoping that this will take time while he seeks more guidance. But it's also very widespread and vast. Do you see what I'm saying? And if I follow him around the tableau this way, it shows that there's still paperwork being delivered up until January of next year. So I'm wondering, what is the statute of limitations for contempt of Congress? Has anybody heard anybody talk about that? We already talked about that, Deanne, and it's looking like he has one, but no, it doesn't stick. It doesn't stick. We talked about that earlier, and it's this line right here: guilty, suffering, pain, sacrifices, paperwork for innocence that are secret, and there's two of them or multiples for the court and the law to please him and make him happy. If that makes any sense. Um, oh, T Barb, you know that book that I have for what's his name? Bjorn. It's 3 books, volumes 1, 2, and 3 on the Grand Tableau. If you know how I used to do it, I used to find the significator. If it was a man, I would find the man in the Grand Tableau. If it was a woman, I would look at the woman. Identify that line as my present. Everything to the left was the past. Everything to the right would be what's to come. Well, Bjorn, I can't pronounce his last name. I believe he's a German guy. He made the argument in his book that there is nothing in the original instructions that talk about that being how you read the Grand Tableau. And he makes the argument that that method came later when the French started adopting the Lennies. Okay. Yeah. Bjorn Muir I can't pronounce his last name. I believe that's in volume 1 or volume 2 where no, it's volume 2. So he makes the argument that if you set the intention before you throw the cards to look out for 1 year, then that's how you read it, regardless of where the significator lands, to the left or all the way at the end of the right. You don't, he makes that argument that you do not say, oh, well, I can't look. You know what I'm saying? He says when you lay down the cards, you read it for the intention set, period. Whereas Rana George is more of the mentality of, oh, well, you're all the way over here, I have to redo it. Mostly because she follows the French, the French method, where Bjorn is more of a traditionalist who follows the original instructions. So I've moved away from that. And another person that brought that to my attention as well was KARIN, with Tea with KARIN, because these symbols, even though this is a German system, these symbols originally, the first 32, and then we had the extra 4 that were added on later on under, I believe his name was Herschel, the gentleman that created the Lennies. This is a German system. I forget the guy's name, something Herschel. Well, these images, with some exceptions, like Bear used to be lion in the original cards, all of these symbols come from tasseography, which is what KARIN does, her little teacups. So when she explained it to me, she's like, well, it's all circular, kind of like a teacup. There's no stopping and ending point. Some people use the, like Karin does, she'll start at the handle and then work her way around, but it's all circular, if that makes sense. So Karin taught me, start here. If I were using direction, I would go this way, but I'm going to go this way because this makes the most sense considering he has to show up in court next year. Okay, so what she taught me was, in order to make it a full year, if I was using direction, I would go this way, but I did not set the intention to use direction, if that makes sense. So I go this way, wrap it around this way, and then come down this way to get the full year. That's what Karin taught me. So June, July, August, September, October, November, December, January, February, March, April, May, and then June. If that makes sense. So it gives you the full 12 months instead of being limited to, well, I only have these 2 columns. Do you see what I'm saying? So, and I had to find that information, because I was so used to doing it the way that Rana does it. And then when I stumbled across Bjorn's book, I was like, okay, I like what he's arguing because, his argument in the books, if you read, I think it's volume 2, his argument is very compelling, and one is the French tradition, which is what Rana George uses, and then the other one is the traditional, based on the rules of the game when it was made, if that makes any sense at all. So you can see where there have been some modifications, French system to the original instructions. So, I mean, do what works best for you. But this is how I'm doing it now, simply because I was swayed by Karin and Bjorn to follow that way of reading, if I'm making any sense at all. Sorry to confuse anybody else. So, I'm telling you guys, Karin is a of knowledge, and I have learned so much from her. And she has sometimes I struggle because I tend to get too bogged down in the details and I forget to pull back and look at the bigger picture. And Karin has a good way of just making it simple to where, or kind of pulling me back a little bit to where I'm not so hyper focused on details. Do you see what I'm saying? So that's something that I think I need work on. Just to sit back and see where everything sits and try to figure out, finding clusters and all that stuff, and then diving into the details. But my baseline way of operating is immediately try to find details, and I need to learn to just back off a little bit. Exactly, T-Barb. Do you see what I'm saying? And then Rana George in her book talks about, if the significator keeps landing here and she does it more than 2 or 3 times, she just throws away the tableau. And it's kind of like, okay, but after I read Bjorn's books, and he was at the World Divination Association, the Lenny Summit a couple of years ago during COVID, and he just seems like one of the I don't I don't know what the proper term would be, but for lack of better words, kind of like the a leading expert in working with symbols, not just the Lennies, just symbols in generals. I know that the Lennies is his preferred divination system. I know he reads Kipper and he reads Scat and he reads tarot and gypsies and all that, but his preference is the Lennies, and he has poured so much time and energy into the Lennies that he is quite admirable, and he knows his stuff. So yeah. Yeah, he is great. Yeah. So, mhm. 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 Um, let me see. Hold on, you guys. Let me go. Look, I drank it all. Let me go refill this real quick. I'm gonna make myself a little cup of coffee. I'll be right back. Is that okay if I take a break? You guys mind? Is that on this Friday evening? Do I have your permission to go get more coffee? Okay, thanks. Thanks. Hey everybody, I'm back. Sorry that took me a minute. I threw in a load of laundry too while I was out. Threw in a load of laundry because it's 9:40 here, so energy prices are down. So what questions should I ask of this to see if we can figure something out? I'll be up late waiting for the laundry. I just threw it in the wash. I gotta wait and then throw it in the dryer and then fold it because I don't like my crap getting all wrinkly. Hey, Virgo. Okay, so he's Let me look at this bear over here. So we've established wrapping his tableau around January of next month. There's still more documents that he's going to have to produce, quite possibly to a woman, in court or in the law. That is not showing here that I can see clearly if he's going to jail. Because here it shows him going to court next month. He has to answer to the court. This column here, there's financial penalties with bear over here knighting to cross. There's financial penalties and financial burdens and also financial problems here. That's why I was going to look at the bear next, because when I follow him this way, if he's claiming executive privilege, the reason I say executive is because bear has to do with higher up leadership, bosses, parental figures, bosses, executives. Okay. And he's got lilies in the house of bear. Now, so executive privilege. If I follow it this way, arguing with an executive, fighting executive, also disputes over finances as well. And then speaking or meeting with someone that is guiding him and protecting him. But I keep coming back to this, that's saying that he's got paperwork that shows that he's innocent, that's secret. He's got more than one. He's got more than one. And that's his answer and his key, but it gets taken away. That gets taken away. Key in the house of mice. And then here with letter is sitting on the house of crossroads, multiples or two. When I look down here, his important answer or his exit gets taken away. It diminishes here, if that makes sense. It's taken away. And then establishing his innocence becomes a burden because he's part of that network. And then if I follow this line here, that network is linked to that conspiracy, if that makes sense. The negotiations and the meetings that were had with the administration that gifted him that paperwork, if any of that makes sense. So, but it's like, okay, so he's got multiple court cases here. If I'm reading it, Crossroads in the house of Key up here, and then Tower. Key is sitting in the house of Mice. So there's losses and answers and access that is dwindling away. It's getting eaten away. Okay. But again, when I follow him this way and I look down this way, this is showing that whatever is in court takes time. And I'm not sure if it's because of this over here that he's keeping quiet. And that will spur the argument of executive privilege or pocket pardons. Because here you got Whip, you have Snake. Snake sits in the house of Whip. Chronic lies, chronic, repetitive trouble and problems. And what's right over his head? Clouds in the house of Snake. Chronic, repetitive problems. And he's trying to weasel out of it. Man in the house of Fox. His answer here is to delay. Delay, 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 delay. Write it out. Take your time until all of it clears. This way. And then Tower in the house of Sun. So it almost shows, it's almost showing like he's able to succeed in delaying for a while, if I'm interpreting it correctly. And then eventually everything that he's been delaying needs to be delivered. But I can't tell for what case this is for. Because this is the court case in July that we know of for contempt of Congress. But then it's like there's more than one. There's more than one court case. What else is he in? What other remember, I don't remember who it was, but Ring Ship was that was Donald Trump's grand tableau from May of 2019 during the first impeachment. It was Scythe, Dog, Tree. Down his column, Cross was in the house of Dog. Ring was here. Tower was here. Donald Trump was down in the line of fate in the house of, I believe it was Anchor. No, Fish. And it showed the impeachment because it was Scythe, Letter, and right here, no, Scythe, Letter, and then right here was Bouquet. And Trump was down here. And where I fucked up that grand tableau, T-Barb, was because I was reading the dog as Donald Trump Jr. I failed to consider the distance between where Donald Trump was. Donald Trump landed here. Dog was up here. That distance should have told me a friendship that had been distanced over time. And then it was Scythe, Dog, Tree. The accident that the friend had, and he ended up in an ambulance. And then down the column, it showed guilty, because it was Cross on Dog, handcuffs, isolation, and Tower was down here with Storks. And that's where I got the arrest at the airport. And that's where, what was his face? Epstein was arrested at the airport. And then the impeachment was right up here And then we had Fox in the House of Woman. News of the impeachment came in the fall. Scythe in the House of Writer. And then when I looked at the column for fall, Fox was in the House of Woman. The investigations were announced in the month of September, right at the beginning of the fall. And then right up here I screwed up this portion of that tableau as well, because it showed investigations into a child. And I was interpreting the child to be his two children. No, it was the investigation into his opponent, Hunter Biden. There was issues with abusing money or abusing funds, because it was Whip was over here and Fish was like over here, and it was knighting somehow. We had the pandemic that showed up in this last column, and that was the column for the pandemic. It was lilies, and then we had, no, it was snake lilies, and then down here we had coffin, we had garden, we had clouds, and that was talking about the pandemic. And also what was up here as well, something dangerous from China. Birds was up here. I'm sorry, clouds was up here. Airborne. That was this line up here. So, I mean, you can go back and look at that tableau. It was May 2019, I want to say. But yeah, that one was interesting. That one was, that tableau was, that one's like ingrained into my brain because I stared at it for so long. But I remember it fairly well. So that was that tableau. But I remember it because I learned from it, because that's where I started reminding myself, because I missed Jeffrey Epstein, and he had Bouquet here. Bouquet is the Queen of Spades. Usually a younger woman, pretty. And that was talking about him abusing and trafficking younger girls, and how he was arrested at the airport, how he had that accident and his entire death was a mystery and unsolved. He never got to talk because Birds was right here. And then it was followed by Mountain. So his talking was delayed. He did not talk. Why? Because he had an accident and something mysterious happened in an ambulance. So that was the top of the tableau. So, sorry to digress. And there was another one I had done right when I was new to YouTube. And it was before I could figure out how to upload videos that were longer than 15 minutes, I think it was. And back when I was filming on my iPad, and I had done a double line of 7. And I'm wondering if I still have that video. No, it was on my old iPad, and I got a new one just recently, like a few months ago. But that one showed an arrest of an operative at the airport for having sex on his phone. It wasn't Jeffrey Epstein in that one. It was that other Republican lawmaker that got arrested for having child pornography on his phone. I think that was 2019 or so. But that reading had that in it. I just unfortunately never uploaded it because I couldn't figure out how to upload on my iPad videos longer than 15 minutes. But it was a double line of 7 on that one. So yeah, sorry to digress. Sorry to digress. Okay, where else should I look at, T-Barb? What should I look at? Thanks, T-Barb. How I recall the layouts? How do I explain it? How do I explain it? It's not the pictures that stick in my head, so not the images. It's because I remember the story. I think it's the story that I remember how it lays out. If that makes any sense at all. And especially if I'm like really digging into it, then it really sinks in. Not the images or the numbers, the story. And that's how I'm able to recall it, I think, if I'm making any sense. His health, even though tree is close, it looks fine. Um, it's really strong here. It's really strong here and stable here. There might be some gastrointestinal situations, perhaps down the road, quite possibly some sort of gastrointestinal surgery for something chronic, perhaps in his stomach or intestines, perhaps some sort of an ulcer. Um, that's just looking at this and then looking at what's next to it. But other than that, it looks fine. It's stable here. So everything that's touching it is fine, with the exception of this. But snake is colon and intestines. It's followed by bear, which is the stomach. Up here, whip, something chronic or the male sexual organs, but it's only hitting this way. So it's not exactly super close. And this would be surgery. So, but then again, this is not hitting this. I'm just following the little clusters around, if that makes any sense. Um, but other than that, it looks fine. Just what's touching the tree immediately looks good. I mean, he might have a case of the runs. This is an action card. This is an action card. He might have a case of the runs, perhaps something gastrointestinal um, that's causing running here and running here. But other than that, it's looking good. I did the corners already. I did the corners already. Oh, hey, Prairie. Does anybody know how many cases Steve Bannon has going on besides the contempt of Congress? I haven't gotten to the chain yet, Larry girl. Can anybody recall that off the top of their heads? Sorry, I'm writing something down. He's got a long F chain. You only see the contempt charges. New York prosecutors moving closer to charging him for the border wall fiasco. Well, he's got financial issues here and big trouble around the finances here. Arguing over finances. I think we talked about that earlier. Trouble with financing here. Now, the wall would be something like this, something that borders and blocks. That doesn't look good either. That doesn't look good either. So maybe who's T-Barb? Who's doing that case? Is that Letitia James? The one in New York? Or is that somebody else? Because remember earlier we were I was, besides Jenny Thomas, I was saying that there's another woman here that's in the law. Someone, and she sits on House Lilies too. Oh, thank you, Rhonda. I'm sorry I missed your comment earlier. I was doing his chain, which is considerably long. But do you guys know where the Manhattan District Attorney? Oh, that's under that weasel guy up there, isn't it? The one that dropped the cases on Trump and is trying to backpedal? Is it under that guy? What's his name? Because there's a woman here in the courts. She sits on House Lilies, so she could be some sort of a judge. She's very, very wise, good character, high honors, well respected, a person of virtue under Alvin Bragg. Well, there's a woman here close to the courts. I see this woman and I see this judge here. And there's several projects in the courts too. Book in the House of Crossroads. And also things that are needing to be learned and discovered in an investigation for the courts here. So Crossroads is 2 or multiples. So I don't know if there's a female prosecutor. I mean, there's a very significant woman here around the law. But this way it shows that paperwork that he's keeping in the back pocket that is innocent for him, that it's secret for the courts and the law. That runs into a huge issue as it moves this way. Big problems. And if that paperwork is meant to delay, it still moves forward. It does not clear him. It moves forward. If I box the snake in, since it's touching tree, we could read this as a chronic issue that's causing pain and suffering in the intestines or the stomach. So perhaps gastrointestinal illness here. He's got part of the cluster for illness, which is whip, coffin. Mice is way down here. It's not affecting it. Cross. But with snake here, this would be more like something gastrointestinal. Let's see here. In regards to other stuff, serious issues concerning finances. Abusing finances, chronic financial issues. He suffers a significant loss around financial issues. There's fines this way, bear knighting over to cross, fines. There's going to be something that needs to be negotiated around his finances. It only gives him a little bit of leeway with Clover right there. But it's almost like he needs to promise to make payments. Promise payments, but it's like a big fine. He's sitting on House Fox as well. Fox has to do with fraud. This way, big trouble for financial fraud. And this also takes time with Tree sitting here. It takes time. This does not move quickly either. It's almost like he just keeps delaying, but then as this wraps around and comes back to January, everything moves forward and it what needs to be done gets done. But it's slow. Hey, Joanne, my dear. Thank you so much. I love them. Joanne sent me these socks from my Amazon wish list, and it says, "Fuck off, I'm reading." And it's got a little girl reading a book. Thank you so much. I just got these today, and I showed them to Peanut, and he had a good laugh. So I love them, Joanne. Thank you so much. And I got your little gift card here too. So I'm gonna I keep all the notes from everything you guys send. So I have a whole pile of them in here in my desk drawer, because I hang on to all the little notes that you guys sent, and I'm gonna write on the back of here when I got them and what they were for. So I just wanted to say thank you so much. But I love it. It says, "Fuck off, I'm reading." Like, yes. Oh, and I got a new case, well, a little thing for my Kindle, and it says Team Fuck You. And this is Rune Danon from the Crescent City series. So this one says Team Fuck You. This one I ordered from Etsy. I love the shop. It's Rainbow Pop Studios. And she's got a lot of these cases. Well, they're I put my Kindle in here, but she sells these in all different sizes for like books, hardbacks, extra large for books like let me see if I can get it. Books like this that are like ginormous that can be used as a weapon. Extra large for these paperbacks, regular hardbacks. She makes these bookmarks as well, but they're mostly fan gear for like series. So these are Rune Danon from the Crescent City series, Rune Danon and his sister Bryce Quinlan, and then here we have Reese from, on this side is Reese from the Akatar series, and then Rune on this side. She's got some Sarah J. Maas, which, you guys, this book, if you're into vampires and werewolves and demigods and all that shit, get this book, From Blood and Ash, from Jennifer L. Armentrout. If you clutch your pearls at spicy scenes, do not read this book, because, I mean, it takes a long time to get to the spicy stuff. See, where's the first spicy scene? Page 289. So yeah, you got to read a while to get there. But it's a damn good book. But anyways, she sells a bunch of let me show you guys. Let me see. I just got another one. It came in the other day. So this one is fan art for the From Blood and Ash series. And this is a quote in the book. It says, "You're an absolutely stunning, murderous little creature." And then I put my last name on there too. But she's got a bunch of super awesome merchandise. It's a small business out of Etsy, and the name of the shop is Rainbow Pop Studios. So I love that shop. Like, I need to stay off Etsy because I keep buying shit from her. And every time I read a new book that I just adore, I immediately go on her site to see if she's got any fan gear for that series. And she's always too. So if you have any readers in the family, or you're a reader yourself, check out her shop. She's got cool stuff. Super, super cool stuff. So, oh, Joanne. So to recap, since you just got here, we were talking about Steve Bannon, and it looks like he has pocket pardons this way. Something guilty that he could suffer for, paperwork that is innocent, multiple that he has that are secret for the government to bring him success this way. This is showing the court case that's coming up next month. So that's kind of like where we're at, looking at all that stuff. Hi, Essence. So yeah, I hadn't seen you earlier because I was staring at this. So, and then I took a couple of breaks, did some laundry, made some coffee, all that stuff. So yeah. So T-Barb, where else should I look? You tell me, my dear. Oh no, Joanne. I'm so sorry. I'm hoping you feel better soon. Yeah, I need to make another appointment to get my second booster. Peanut and I need to go get our second boosters, and we've just been so busy with just everything going on. No, Joanne, no. It gets contested and it becomes problematic here. And if those pardons are meant to delay, it doesn't. It still gets delivered. It still gets delivered. So it's a loss. And then with his line of fate, he's got Crossroads, Mice, Child, and Garden. His exit, the choice, the option, the important option that he was given to get him out of trouble with the law gets taken away and diminished here. And then there's something here with little people at a party, little people in a gathering, a small gathering, but that entire network comes under scrutiny and is burdened and suffering, if that makes sense at all. There's also something here where he could quite possibly be charged with that scythe there, because this is a very dangerous and swift decision for something that he was honored and rewarded for, perhaps via payment. Okay. And then this way here in the center of his tableau, we're seeing that the meetings and whatever he negotiated, whatever has to be spoken about, the paperwork for his innocence is deeply rooted and connected to and growing within a guilty organization. And whatever delays that was meant to cause, it moves forward. So it's only like his get out of jail free card is only temporary, and it diminishes, if that makes any sense. But But that is going to take a very long time in court. Because if we look around him, delays, this takes time. All this mess in the law takes time. And then up here, we're seeing that something dangerous that he argues ends. There's losses here and he suffers. And then there's delays here again. And whatever he was desiring becomes very problematic. Okay? And he's got cross over him, followed by mountain. And the most important thing, he's got clouds right over his head. It's right over his head. He thinks he will be successful. And I'm only saying that because simply he's got the sun within reach. He's got the stars within reach. He's got the key closest to him. Both of the, and then he's got the moon up here. The three celestials are close. Close, close, close. Okay? And he's got key right in his hand. He's sitting smug and pretty because he thinks he can get out of this. Man in the house of fox, fox right here. He thinks he's got the exit strategy. Nobody's going to touch him. What he fails to see is this is sitting right over his head. So, oh, the chain, that chain is long. That chain is long. Okay. Let me do it this way. Bear with me while I pull out this chain because it's like, I don't even know how many cards long it is. Okay, so man. There's man and fox. Heart. Clouds. Snake. Whip. Tower. Sun. Birds. Dog. Dog, dog, dog. Book. Crossroads. Key. Book. Crossroads. Oh, I screwed something up. Hold on. Book. Crossroads. Key. Nice. Key. Key, 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 key. Key. Mice. This is 33. Okay. Fish and key. Fish and key. 33, 33. Where's 33? Wait. No, fish and ring 25. 25. Okay. Letter, child. Letter, child, anchor woman. I'm wondering if he's got a pocket pardon also for his financial dealings and the build the wall bullshit. I'm wondering that too. Because in the tableau, it was book on crossroads, two or multiples. Well, here, his answer and his escape route is taken away. There's a business dealing here and paperwork to achieve his innocence. Let me see. Woman, lilies. Air. Scythe. Rider. Mountain. Tree. What is it? Rider, mountain, tree, garden. Cross. House. Bouquet. Moon. Coffin. And ship. 33 cards in his chain. 33 cards in his chain. That is his entire chain around the Grand Tableau. Ta-da! He's going to give this thing the runaround to stay out of trouble for as long as he can. Stonewall and fuck up shit in the court. He's being very smart, conniving, manipulative, and a little piece of shit. There's arguments in court here. A lot of legal problems in court that he thinks he will be successful in because he has negotiated something for his loyalty that he's keeping secret. But there's more than one. There's more than one. Book and crossroads. Multiple studies, 2 books, 2 secrets, multiple secrets. They get exposed here because that's his answer, but it gets taken away here. It dwindles. There is some sort, perhaps one of them was the escape exit, the strategy for something, because it's showing 2 here or multiples. We could be looking at the problems and the attack on the Capitol. This is abusive, okay? The attack that happened at the Capitol. Also, perhaps arguments in court, and other legal issues that he's having that are problematic, that are a result of his lying here with Snake. Okay, that he thinks he will be successful because he negotiated something for his loyalty that he's keeping secret, but there's more than one, which gives him the answer or the escape, but that's taken away. There's a business deal here that was made, or some sort of business partnership with a team of people that were involved in thievery. Okay. There is paperwork here for innocence that is to be established. There's a woman here that is very wise, and his finances get cut off. And if this is in regards to executive privilege, there is a decision that is made here to prevent something from moving forward. It causes a delay, but there's more than one court case here. And it's like once he pulls out this card, then that causes another repetition in the courts. Does that make sense? I hope I'm making sense, because this is repetition. It's chronic. It happens over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. And here it's showing that he's delaying stuff from coming out. Delay, 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 delay. It's very slow moving, but the entire organization, and it could also be an entire party or network, suffers and is guilty. what he was hoping to accomplish for the administration, whether this is the gifts that he was given by Trump, that he was awarded, okay, for his innocence up here, that ends and is shut down, and it eventually moves. But like I said, not anytime soon, because he's being very, very crafty, and what he's desiring is to cause chaos and chronic fighting with the courts and the law. He's got counsel around him, perhaps a pair. With this, it's more than one. I don't know how many lawyers he has, but it's I'm telling you, he's got a couple of pardons. And it's looking, if I stop here, because there's the documentation, and innocent is achieved. If I follow it back, there's a business deal here, and then there's something fighting lies. This would be something like gas at a large building. But it's chronic legal issues. That answer that he was gifted, get out of jail free card, like we discussed, taken away. It dwindles. But when he pulls this, when he does this, it becomes circular again. And then it goes back and repeats again. Does that make sense? Am I making any sense at all? Oh, hi, Peggy. You're up late. So it becomes circular. I hope I'm making sense. Let me see here. If this is in regards to executive privilege, there's going to be a delay here as well. If he tries to argue executive privilege, that causes a delay. And there's also something here around his finances that get cut off, and it prevents it from moving forward. I don't know if that means the seizure of his assets, though, because this is financing and it gets cut off here. Movement is delayed. It's delayed from being delivered. Okay. However, mice shows up way ahead. Mice takes away. But mice shows ahead of his businesses and his finances. Does that make sense? So I don't know if there's seizures. It doesn't look like it. It doesn't look like, based on this timeline, if I'm interpreting this correctly, that they seize his assets. Because mice only takes away from all this from here back this way. If I'm making any sense at all. The money shows up after the mice. If I'm making sense. So the mice eats from the left, it poops to the right. Okay? So hey, Sebastian, you're up late. But whatever he was rewarded with, that ends in ruin, and it eventually moves forward. But like I said, it's he's gonna stir up a bunch of shit right here in this line. He's gonna stir up a bunch of shit that's gonna cause delays. That way. But his line of fate, if it's any consolation, doesn't look too promising. It doesn't look promising. So, if anything, Oh, it's expensive, I know. But he's a grifter, so all the idiots will be more than happy to fund his stuff. So, and I'm sure he's got other investments and business dealings here, because this would be in investments. Where did Bear land in regards to him? Bear was way. Hold on, let me move this out of the way, you guys. Sorry, move this out of the way. Give me 1 second, please. So he's here. Bear is over here. But here it shows danger to his finances. But he's got financial opportunities abroad, though. Perhaps in connection to some mirroring these two, dog and ship. Perhaps some sort of business negotiation or deals, perhaps with fish is the king of diamonds. And then you got dog right here. Fish sits ring. Ring is right next to it. And then ship right here. He may have some sort of business dealings abroad, perhaps with China. But didn't that guy that he was on the ship with, didn't they seize his yacht? His yacht got taken away, because here down this column you have cross, sun, tree, ship, and mice. Okay, something that is burdensome or guilty, and then success for something that was solid, quite possibly and quite literally a ship that is missing or taken away down this column here. But that shows up 2 columns ahead of him. But wasn't that Chinese guy's ship taken away from him? The one that where he got arrested, he was on board that dude's ship, and or am I making that stuff up in my brain? I'm actually surprised that the lilies showed up next to him and not below him. That I'm surprised about. That I'm surprised about. Hold on. Lilies is knighting to mountain. It's knighting to rider. It's knighting to woman. It's knighting to bouquet. So delays in something that's going to take time and patience to move forward. It's going to take a few months. Patience for a woman, or a very wise woman, a woman that is guiding, also quite possibly a woman that is married to a very powerful person in government, and then being rewarded something and giving recognition. But it's a reward for freedom, if I follow the corners. The corners are scythe, moon, bouquet, and fish. So there's danger here, but there's honor and fame, and then some sort of a gift for freedom and independence. That's what he thinks he's got in his back pocket here with the key. But what he doesn't see is that the clouds is right over his head. That freedom is temporary. So that freedom is temporary. That's all I'm gonna say. But for the timeline set for this tableau, which is 1 year, I'm sorry, guys, unless I'm completely overlooking it, which I may be. You know, I screw up too sometimes, a lot of times. I don't see a perp walk. I don't see jail. I just see a bunch of legal problems for him. And then that little tiny little secret he's keeping in his back pocket to get him out of jail. A pardon. Something guilty. There's the document of his innocence. Multiples that he's keeping secret for the law to bring him success. Mm-hmm. That and it's almost like another strategy for him. He sits on House Fox, another strategy for him to weasel out of it. Whip is way ahead of him. Okay. So that fight, June, July, August, September, October, there could be more fighting around October, fighting over perhaps something to do with executives and a decision to come in that he thinks is going to favor him in court, but it's a small win. It's a very small win. Where is, okay, but it's disputed. It's disputed here. That win is disputed. And then that dispute comes to an end and it causes a lot of pain and suffering. It does okay to delay, but it causes problems. And and that opens up a whole nother can of worms. Does that make any sense at all? What I just said? Because I don't make no sense. I know that. So the other tableaus, I still need to finish Jim Jordan's. We still got Andy Biggs, Pat Cipollone, Roger Stone, Clarence Thomas, and Jenny Thomas that are still on my list. Yay. So that's what I got, y'all. That is what I got. And right here, also in his tableau, the center, we have Sun in the House of Birds, Letter in the House of Child, Tree in the House of Garden, Writer in the House of Mountain. Like I said, this takes time. The tree, okay, the tree is it's very slow developing. It's slow. And then you have Writer in the House of Mountain. That movement is going to be slow because of obstacles and delays. But eventually it opens up. Okay? But it's slow moving. Don't I wouldn't anticipate this to be super, super fast. Especially considering that he's got this whole situation hitting a diagonal. That paperwork for his innocence, that secret to bring him success in the courts and with the law. And Book sits on crossroads, multiples or doubles. So he may have more than one pardon tucked away. And over here on this portion of the tableau is where the financial stuff is at. There's the fish, there's the bear. Those are your two finance cards. So that's what I got for everybody tonight. 3 hours of just jibber jabbing. Okay, let's see if we can ask that. Joanne, hold on. Let me put these away. Hold on. Let me put that away. Let me get a handy dandy little cards over here. How should I word that question, Joanne? How should I word that question? How many people did Donald Trump issue preemptive pardons for? How many people did Donald Trump issue preemptive pardons for? How many people did Donald Trump issue preemptive pardons for? How many people did Donald Trump issue preemptive pardons for? How many people did Donald Trump issue preemptive pardons for? How many people did Donald Trump issue preemptive pardons for? So we got woman, which is card 29. Could be 29 people, or it could be 11. 2 plus 9, 11. Not pre-emotive, no. So that could be an amount 29 or 11. So let's see. Did Donald Trump issue 29 preemptive pardons? 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 No, that's a big old no. So we'll go with 11. Let's see if he has 11. Did Donald Trump issue 11 preemptive pardons? 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 That's a no as well. Let me ask it this way. Ask it this way. Does Steve Bannon have pocket pardons? Does Steve Bannon have secret 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 pardons? That's a big ass fucking yes. Also, please note that his Grand Tableau, he's got stars in its own house. He's got storks in his own house. This mofo thinks he's in the clear. This is having, these are two very positive cards, okay? This one is talking about change, relocating, fresh starts, okay? Migrational. Because it's migrational, that's why I was saying this is slow and it doesn't work out for him. And it's only temporary. Why? Migrational birds, they leave and return. Up here, we're seeing that the problems return. And then with the ring here and fish here and on his line, it circles back around. If I'm making any sense. With stars in its own house, it shows success in going in a new direction. So he really does believe that he's clear. Just with those two in their own houses, if I'm making any sense. But this is a big old yes. He's got pocket pardons. Okay, so let's see. Sweet Pea. Did Donald Trump issue 2 preemptive pardons? 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 This is a positive and neutral card, so I'm going to pull one more. That's a big ol' yes. So we got woman, which is 29. 2 plus 9 is 11. And then I'm sorry, I didn't catch her name. Which was it? Cheryl? Somebody. Oh, Sweet Pea. Reduced it down 11. 1 plus 1 is 2. So we asked, did he issue 2? We got a garden. We got garden, which is a positive card, but it's also neutral. I could have just stayed at this, but I pulled one more. Sun, that's a big ol' yes. Can't get more yes than that. Well, key, we'll give you a big ol' yes too. Who made up this pardon crap? Was it in Founding Fathers? It just, people got away with it. Well, it wasn't meant to be abused by a lawless piece of shit like Trump, but the other pardon, I'm wondering, because here it's showing that there's 2. There's 2 of these. Letter sits in house child. The paperwork for innocence. Or paperwork or documents that show that you're innocent. So I'm wondering who else, if he issued 2, I'm wondering who else has one. Let me look around here. Let me look around here. Cross, mountain, and heart. Sun, letter, and man, which is Steve Bannon. Tree, writer, and book. Well, there's the pardon for Steve Bannon. Here it's saying that there's multiples or 2 that are secret. And then writer. Writer is a visitor. A visitor, younger person. I'm wondering who it is. Let me ask. Who else received a preemptive pardon from Trump? Who else has a pocket pardon from Trump? Who else has a pocket pardon from Trump? That's what I was thinking, Lucky Girl, because it's writer. Writer is male energy. Even though it's the 9 of hearts, it still it carries male energy. Who else received a pocket pardon from Trump? 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 It's a man. Jack of clubs with the whip. This is someone younger, a younger businessman that perhaps was having secret business dealings. Could be involved in real estate, business, commerce. A person of finance and wealth, prosperity, self-employment as well. This is the card of entrepreneur. Because when I was looking here in the Grand Tableau, when I went to the left, letter is followed by man, which is Steve Bannon. So obviously it's not this card. If I look to the bottom corner, it's saying it's book in the House of Crossroads, 2 or multiples. Okay. Obviously that's not it. I looked directly below and it was writer. Writer is not necessarily, it's not a card that has the pip is the 9 of hearts, but it carries male energy with it. So we're looking at someone that's a runner, a very Banana Republic sort of look to them. Not Banana Republic as like Banana Republic as like the clothing store. You know what I mean? That preppy, upper class, superficial kind of look to them. So that's what I was thinking in my head, and I was like, So just because writer fits more of the description, and here I'm seeing a male, a business person. Someone also, not just that, but a business person that was perhaps having trouble with their business. Because this right here is discord and arguments in business. Multiple arguments. Not multiple, but an abundance of arguments, but problems around the business and it's secret. Also projects that were done in secret. Perhaps some sort of chronic problem that he was experiencing in secret, a private dispute that may have been had. So, and lucky girl, did I ask? No, this was to see who else he issued a pardon to, right? And we're thinking Jared Kushner based on this because this is male. So let me put this back and see. Ask it straight up. Ask it straight up. Does Jared Kushner have a pocket pardon? 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 Jared Kushner have a pocket pardon? We'll ask that next, Joanne, depending on what we get here. Does Jared Kushner have a pocket pardon? Does Jared Kushner have a pocket pardon? That's a no. That's a no, you guys. That is a no. That's a no. That's a no. No. That right there. I know. I see you, Joanne. Was it? It was after the first impeachment. It was after the first impeachment when there was all this discussion if Trump could pardon himself, if I'm remembering the timeline correctly. And I remember the people on the news having that discussion, saying that it would cause a constitutional crisis and it would take forever in the courts because of the legal ramifications, constitutional crisis, meaning that the president is therefore putting himself above the law, saying that he does not need to be held accountable, and he therefore, because he can pardon others, he can also pardon himself without any judge and jury or whatever, basically making himself king. I remember that discussion floating around after the first impeachment. But even if it gets, shot down in the courts, it would still be a strategy to delay the courts. Are you following where I'm going with this? So even if it does not hold up in court and he's about to have his ass nailed to the wall for the insurrection, and he pulls out that pocket pardon, well, guess what? You just bought yourself a bunch of time. Oh, that whole thing makes its way to the courts, and then eventually he takes it up to the Supreme Court. Do you see what I'm saying? It does exactly, Peggy. It doesn't mean he didn't do it, though. Doesn't mean he didn't do it. Even though it's doomed to fail, it would still give him enough time to delay having to face justice. If I'm making any sense and you guys are picking up what I'm putting down. So let's see. Did Donald Trump issue himself a pardon? 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 Did Donald? That's him. That's his MO, Carmen. Delay, 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 delay. He'll be dead before he faces any justice, in my view. Did Donald Trump issue himself a pardon? Did Donald Trump issue himself a pardon? Did Donald Trump issue himself a pardon? That's a no. No. Mm-mm. So the first one we got whip book fish. Whip book. It's showing a man problems with business. Someone that abuses business. Maybe he gave 2 pardons to Steve Bannon. And that's it. Maybe it was just Bannon that got the 2 pocket pardons. So my brain hurts. My brain hurts, you guys. And I'm almost ready for bed. I mean, Peggy, I can totally see him doing that because it would go to the courts and then he would delay. It's not like the courts are going to fast track something like that. And then after it sits in the court for like a year or 2 and uses those, he'll take it to the Supreme Court and wait another 2 or 3 years. See what I'm saying? It's just the delay tactic just buys him time. And after this whole experience, considering that Donald Trump has a freaking decades-long history of using that sole strategy to stay out of legal issues, I don't know how, but in my view, I really do think that the DOJ needs to try to get something done through Congress or whatever to put laws in place that people like him are because they have the resources to do so, cannot indefinitely delay, their day in court. I mean, the rest of us who don't have infinite amount of money, you can't pay your bail. Well, guess what? Your ass is going to sit and rot in jail until your court date comes up. Do you see what I'm saying? So something needs to be done about that because, it's Donald Trump and we had to deal with it for 4 years, but he's been doing that for decades. But also, he is one of very many wealthy people that I'm sure use the same exact tactic, you know? So that's just my view. So we still have Biggs, Cipollone, Roger Stone, Jenny Thomas, and Clarence Thomas. I will try to come back on again tomorrow. And I will put up a poll. I'm going to leave Jenny and Clarence to themselves because those two bastards are definitely getting a grand tableau. So we can look at, I'll put up a poll between Biggs, Cipollone, and Roger Stone and see where they're at. We still need to finish Jim Jordan's grand tableau, and I think it would be good to perhaps revisit Donald Trump's grand tableau from February, March, April, May, June. So this is only 4 months ahead, which would put us 1, 2, 3, 4, right about here. So we can look at him again. So yeah, you guys. Thank you all for hanging out. I hope I entertained you all. Joanne, I love my socks. I love them. I'm going to put them on. Well, not right now because it's kind of hot. We're starting to get into the summer here, and I am not looking forward to it. I ain't looking forward to it, but fuck off, I'm reading. So I want to say thank you guys so much for hanging out. I'm going to try to come on again tomorrow and hang out with you lovely people again. Until then, y'all have fun. Have a good night. And I will see you again. Hey, in Through a Colored Lens. Sorry, I'm just now seeing you. I was looking down and I didn't see you sneak in. Hey, Peggy, thank you. So I hope to see you all again tomorrow. And then Sunday, I think we're on Johnny's. I'm not sure. My brain is like scrambled eggs. So you all have a good evening. And I will see you all next time. Bye-bye.